What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 59 of Lyon Live, here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are doing awesome. If you missed last episode, do go check it out. A massive game in the context of our season. Games against Monaco, against PSG. To kick things off, we have another game against PSG. Man, the big games just keep coming thick and fast. But yes, I thought today we'd start on Willem Gabel's profile, a player who... well, we signed last year, of course, in January, and he went on to have a fantastic first season at the club. It would be fair to say, by comparison, this season has been a little disappointing, perhaps. He's only got 13 goals. Last season, he got 15 in half a season. He has played 28 games, and well, you can see here, with 6 league games remaining and a potential French Cup run to continue, I guess, if we can get a win in our first game today. Maybe, just maybe, he can surpass that total from last year. But in terms of goals per game ratio, he's trailing just a little bit. It has felt a bit like this year we've just not quite been as good as we could have been. Anyway, French Cup semi-final draw. We are going to be taking on Strasbourg if, and it's a big if we can beat PSG, who we have coming up on the horizon. They are going to be a tricky game for us. Looking at things though, our best 11 should be available for selection. For Kieran Coman, probably overdue, just a day out. Saint Maximin is going to be injured. That does open up an opportunity, I think, for Trincao to come onto the bench, however. A player who, I feel like he's been pretty unfortunate this year. By no fault of his own, he's found himself outside of the first team. I mean, when he's played very, very well. I feel like he is one of the players who will definitely benefit in this summer. If we do decide, to cut off some of the dead wood, perhaps. I'm looking at the likes of Bertrand Traoré, potentially Depay as well. If the right offers came in for them, I feel like he'd be the player who'd really benefit. And while speaking of players benefiting from first-team football, I definitely feel like Markovic here at 21 years old, with his 12 league games, has been a bit of a surprise package, really. A 7.4 average rating from centre-back. Really has been top draw. And potentially going to find himself, I think, on the verge of a first-team spot. Kind of in the next season or two. I definitely feel like he's right up there, and if a big offer was to come in for Lenglet or Wallace, maybe knowing that I've got Markovic in my back pocket, you'd consider moving on either of those two centre-backs. But anyway, enough about worrying about the hypotheticals for the upcoming summer. We are going to focus on the here and now, and it's going to start with a game, as I mentioned, in the French Cup against PSG, a PSG side who, well, we beat convincingly not that long ago, so I imagine that they're going to come into this game wanting some revenge, or we are going to come into this game wanting to get some revenge of our own. Both teams want revenge. They want revenge for us winning the Coupe de la Ligue. We want revenge for, well, them running away with the league title this year and really humbling us, I feel like, when it's come to our our domestic league performances. It just hasn't been good enough, has it, really? So, this is the team that we're going to go with, but it's not the system we're going to play. We are going to switch, of course, to this system, and it's our kind of 4-5-1, as I like to call it, or 4-3-3 if you really want to refer to it as that. It's a system that it's worked well for us, and I'm hoping it's going to serve us well again here. We've got plenty of options on the bench as well, and I'm just wondering if I want to stick with this 11. Is this the 11 I'm happy with? I feel like Ndombele in his last 5 games has been pretty poor. You know what? I'm going to give Aouar the nod. We're going to bring in Aouar to play box-to-box midfielder and see what he can do. And Ndombele, still a very, very good option to have on the bench, however. Particularly with this system with the 3 centre midfielders, we do expect our 3 centre mids really to put in tackles. And, if they do pick up bookings, and I'm a little bit concerned perhaps about going down a man, Ndombele and Lucas Romero, to be fair, perfect players to bring on in that kind of situation, that pressure cooker environment, to hopefully, go in and without the fear of getting a second yellow card, put in the tackles that I do need our players to commit to within this system. But anyway, let's see how we get on. It's a tricky game. It's undeniably difficult. They've got Neymar starting, and while speaking of the devil, he's on the corner. Whipped in but cleared away to Coman. I mean, could we hit them on the break immediately? The dream here. Gabel's holding up the play. Coman continues his run. He will, wow, I thought he was going to get on the end of it. Unfortunately, he does not, but he's going to immediately initiate the press here, high up the pitch, trying to force an error out of Areola. Lenglet wins it. An early goal for either team here would really put them in the front foot, and, well, we will hope that we can be the team to be put on that front foot, as it's now Aouar to Fekir to Toussaint, the 3 centre mids, linking up in the deeper areas, played wide to Mendy, who cuts inside. What a run! The finish at the end of it. Definitely the finish attempt of a left-back. That is undeniable. That should have been a better effort on goal, you can't help but feel. But we look like we're on the attack again here. Eder Militao at right back this time. Our wing-back's getting lots of space forward. Whips in, Gabel's fouled. And Fekir with a chance from the penalty spot to put us ahead. Of course, this is how the game against PSG started last time we met, where we beat them 2-0. Fekir missed the penalty on that occasion. He has made no mistake from the spot today. We go a goal up. It's his 10th of the season. Could we knock PSG out of both domestic French competitions? It would not really make up for the league title, but it would make me feel better about the season as a whole if we could go on to win the French Cup here. We've got the early goal. And this system seems to just be a kryptonite for PSG. They are struggling with it. And this game so far, we've been the better team by a margin. Fekir now to Aouar, who hits it from range. That was not far away. He's got a bit of a fire in his belly, has Aouar. He's got a point to prove here. And there was definitely intent and purpose about that effort that he made. Worth noting, player condition, Mbappe and Neymar down in the 70s already. Aouar for us is down at 82%, but by comparison, there are some tiring legs in this PSG side. We have obviously rotated our starting 11 going into this game, and that could benefit us in the latter stages here. And well, it might benefit us now. Aouar's got the goal, Coman with the assist. Depay has apparently picked up a knock and is indicating he wants to come off. I'm going to play it safe, and we're going to bring in Keane to replace him out on that left wing. But 2 goals to the good here. It's not even half time. We've been by far and away the better team. And this system has just worked wonders for us. The 3-man centre mids, it just seems to work against PSG. It really cancels out some of the creative flair. It really means that Neymar and Mbappe don't have that space as inside forwards to drift into, because the centre mids are there kind of tracking their runs back. And you can see here, more possession. But the most important thing is the fact that we are 2 goals ahead. And PSG have not had a shot on target in the first half of this game. Dominant is probably the best word to describe how we've played here. You know, we sit deep, we allow them to come onto us. We do engage with a high press with our kind of 2 wide attacking wingers and our striker. But that flat free centre midfield trio, they are really kind of just screening the team. And they've done their job so far in this game here. We will hope that they can continue to do it as we are on the attack again here. Keane flicks it to Gabels, who crosses it. Coman's there. Can he get the rebound? Of course he can. What is happening? It's 3-0. Absolute scenes here, as the kids would say. Gabels with the assist. Coman with his 17th of the season. Club record transfer. Big deal, of course, from Bayern Munich. And, well, despite the fact in the league he's not been superb, he has chipped in with some very, very important goals this season. I don't know if that goal in itself is going to prove pivotal, but we are 3 goals up. They are subbing off Neymar. You wonder if they're just giving up on this now. Have they tapped out? Have PSG accepted, you know, this isn't going to work out for us? I mean, there's 14 minutes left of this game, and we look to press for a 4th. Wallace and, well, just nice build-up play here. Coman now with it. Toussaint. Mendy's out on the left. Plays it wide to him, not the best ball, but Mendy able to get it under control. Plays it to Aouar, now with Keane. Across to Fekir. Mendy is free out in that wide area. Toussaint dictating the play here. Spreads it to Militao at right back, who crosses it in. Gabels can't win his header. Coman can't win his either, but again it's Toussaint. He's just there as a real anchor of our midfield. Picking up the play, pinging passes left and right, and well, there could be a chance here. Willem Gabels makes it 4-0. My word, what has happened here? Why couldn't we do this against other teams? What a performance. It's got to be said. Really, really nice finish by Gabels as well. We criticised him to start today's episode. That is the kind of finish that will see him surpass his goal tally from last season. Has every right to be happy with that one. We find ourselves 4 goals up, 4 different goal scorers as well. And, well, PSG here trying perhaps to make something happen for the first time in this game. Lyon spreads it wide, a little bit more space than I'd like for Rabiot out on this side. He puts it in. Not a great ball. And Keane, that did not look like a penalty to me and 3D. It's been given, I have to trust, because there's VAR, it was the correct decision. The question now is, Lopez, can you keep your clean sheet? No one is here to save you. It's a one-on-one battle. He goes the right way, but Mbappe does find the back of the net. Maybe I shouldn't get too carried away at 4 goals up just yet. Maybe we do need to just remain a little more composed. You know, with, what, 35 minutes left of this game, a 3-goal cushion is not insurmountable for PSG to turn around. Although if we could get our 4-goal lead back ahead, that would be good, wouldn't it? Keane, oh my gosh, I mean, that's one way to respond to giving away a penalty, isn't it? I mean, fair play, lad. I was going to ridicule him for giving away the penalty. I feel like he's just made amends. From kickoff, this is Fekir to Keane, picks it up in his, deep in the PSG half. Runs out their defence. Initial tackle comes in, hits it. Could Areola have done better? Almost certainly should have done, but we're not going to complain. We've scored 5 here. And for a team that struggled with goals, we don't look like we're struggling here against this tired PSG side. The season as a whole is catching up with them. Fekir, he's going to want his second, and he's got his second. I've got my head in my hands. It's 6-1. It's actually 6-1. This is ludicrous. We've only had 2 clear-cut chances and 1 half chance. We've just been, putting on a clinical masterclass. Gabel's to Coman, who lays it across, and Fekir, he's now on for his hat-trick. It's his 11th of the season. Again, Areola probably should have done better when you look at it like that, but hey, we're not going to complain, are we, too much? I'm just wondering if I was to make a tactical change, who I'd take off. I don't know who I would, really. I almost don't feel like it's entirely necessary. I'll tell you what, we will make one last change. We'll take off Toussaint and we'll bring in Lucas Romero. And I'm also going to bring in Markovic at centre-back just because why not give the youngster a little bit of a run out? We've also given Mbappe a knock. Let's hope that that's a serious injury to end out the season that can benefit us. Unfortunately, since we scored on the hour mark, we've now had 30 minutes without a goal and this game is just going to fizzle out. But make no mistake, 6-1 is just mad. That is, I mean, if we could have had that in the league, it would have been superb. That was not a rotated team either. That was a very, very strong team fielded by PSG, and we have put them to the sword. And I think we know what tactic we might use against PSG in any future encounters. Depay out for 4 to 5 days, which could be worse, couldn't it? Let's be honest. We've got Strasbourg in the semi-final. Durand playing in the league. That's all good. Ferreira got a goal and an assist as well in a Brest win. He's looking very, very exciting. I like the look of Mario Ferreira. Just as a reminder, £300,000. Another one of the few Portuguese players we brought in this year. Or rather, over the last few years. Man, I mean, French Cup semi-final, I am not going to complain one little bit. That is going to be a big little game for us. And we do actually now go into a little break going into the Nice game. So, well, with what I can only assume is an international break, there is time for our players to recover. And time for them to just reset a little bit. I noticed in the kind of news items, 9 trials finished. They will be our youth candidates, if I'm not mistaken. Are there any of them that I'm desperate to keep hold of? Lionel Marty, you know what? I'm going to give him a contract because he's consistent. And I like consistency. These other guys, though, further down, no real interest in keeping them on. In truth, they're probably not going to develop for us and be good enough for our team. So I'm not going to worry about them too much. Feli here, his contract runs out at the end of next year. He's got an optional extension. So I was worrying that maybe we needed to renew his contract, the youngster, but we don't. We can just renew things. Ndombele wants a new contract. Fekir, can you have a word with him, mate? Fekir unable to sort it. Ndombele, we can't afford it right now. You've got to earn your contract. I mean, he's on £65,000 for the next 3 years. What kind of wage rise is he going to want? That's the question that I'm wondering. He wants a big pay rise. That concerns me. He wants 100. I mean, you're not an £105,000 a week wage player. Don't get me wrong. You're a very, very good player, Ndombele, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't feel like you're worth that much money to me. Maybe you are. Maybe we'll rethink things in the summer. But with our very bloated squad, I'm always tempted to try him on the transfer market and see who might be interested. Of course, it's fantastic to keep hold of your best players as a team like Lyon, but the reality is the club is set up in a way where, in order to maintain a positive cash flow, players do have to be sold on from time to time. We are a selling club. Anyway, we've got a few players who are unhappy here. I want to say that we'd be worse off He doesn't deserve a new deal. Most players agree Rajkovic doesn't. Rajkovic just doesn't like me, does he? Bertrand Traore wants to withdraw his transfer request. Does he now? Contract expiring at the end of next year. I probably need to cash in on him. Although, I wonder if I should renew his contract. If he wants to renew it, he doesn't want to renew it. Just doesn't want to be transfer listed. With only a year left on his contract, we'll be lucky to get that much money for him, really. But we'll see what we can do. You never know. Maybe some club will come in with 40 to 50 million. I feel like at this point, I'd probably take that. He's really not been a massive part, I feel, of the first team this year. With Koeman's arrival and players like Trincao waiting in the wings, I just don't know if there's a massive opening in the team, to be honest, for Ndombele. It just doesn't feel like he's a player who's got a spot to fill. You know, he doesn't really do anything that isn't already covered by someone else. Auger's doing very, very well in training. That's what I want to see. Look at all those 16s. He's only 17. I mean, that's exciting, isn't it? He looks like he's going to be such a good player. It's a shame about his physicals. I'd love his strength to be a tiny bit better. I'm going to put a focus on his strength. I'll hope that can help him out. But, I mean, besides that, he just looks top drawer, doesn't he? He really, really does. Currently training him as a more deep-lying kind of player, but defensively he's not really good enough, is he? I'll tell you what, let's put him on an advanced playmaker on attack and see how he benefits from that, because that's a role that I could definitely see him playing for us. Obviously, we have Kone, who's only 16. He's kind of a similar mould to Ndombele. Now, he's got a long way to go to be as good as Ndombele, but I feel like career trajectory-wise, he has that potential to kind of reach the same level in the same position. So they could be an interesting pairing, maybe. I was going to say for some tutoring. Tutoring doesn't exist anymore. But if it was FM18 or earlier, I would definitely be an Ndombele to take Eze under his wing and just, you know, have a little word with him, look after him, make sure he's fed and watered, and make it sound like he's like a pet. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. You can see other games going on here. PSG lost. I mean, it couldn't happen, could it? Well, Quinios sent off. They lost that game. Monaco did win, unfortunately. Although we're ahead of them on goal difference now. The goal difference margin is 1 goal. Oh, PSG, don't let me dream. Look at that form. They got through in the Champions League as well, so their fixture congestion is pretty intense. They've got lots of games coming thick and fast. And, well, their squad, they've got players who really need rests and aren't being given them. Now, there is an international break here. I will hope that the likes of Mbappe, Neymar, they get played regularly. Lille are just teasing me. They've dangled a carrot in front of me getting that away win against PSG. I mean, we still need them to bottle it monumentally. How many games left? 6 games left and they're 4 points clear with a game. I mean, they've got to lose 3 games minimum. I don't see it happening. Konate was a massive part of that win against PSG. Great player who I think will be, in our first team next year. Durand, he did okay. He conceded 2 against Angers, but ultimately it's more regular first team football for him. Auger continuing to train well. I mean, I'm loving the looks of that. That's all I'm going to say. Nice, our next opposition, not going to be an easy one. Is it mad that I kind of want to play the same system that we have been playing against the likes of PSG in this kind of game and just see how it does against a better team? Ndombele's trying to force a move. I really wish I'd maybe been able to offer him a better contract. I'm going to hint at the fact in the press that maybe he could get a new contract. I am having second thoughts. Don't get me wrong, he's good, but he's expecting that we should offer him a new contract, but now is he going to want to... He does actually want to listen. Alright, first team player. He wants £110,000 a week. I don't really want to go higher than 95, but I want to lowball him to begin with. I can give him a big international cap bonus, because if he's playing for the French national team as a centre mid, that's pretty good. Goal bonus as well, we can give him a reasonable one. He wants £120,000 a week. I mean, it's just not happening, mate. 85. He wants 195. I have to give him like £110,000 to be happy. And then the question becomes, does he deserve to be on the same kind of money as the likes of Fekir? Like, can I really put him into the same bracket? And I don't know if I can. What is Ndombele's first name? I can't remember. Where is it? I'm blind. Tanguy. Of course it is. Let's have a look. Tanguy and Ndombele. Why can I not compare you two? Is it because you both don't play centre mid, or am I blind? Am I blind? Tell you what, let me click on Ndombele here. Can I now compare you with Fekir because he's a recent player? We can. It is a tricky one. I feel like he just hasn't played as well enough this year, Ndombele. Like, don't get me wrong, he's done fine, 7.18 average rating, but is that worthy of him being one of our highest earners? When's his current contract expiry date? 2024. He's still got 3 years left. Oh. Tell you what, if we win the Champions League, I'll give you £1 million. If we win the Europa League, which I hope we'll never play in, £1 million. I'm a generous guy, what can I say? And if you score 15 league goals, you get £1 million. He was not happy with the £1 million. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really want to go above £100,000 a week for him. I was hoping that he'd go less, but that clearly isn't the case. Koeman's not happy with training. He doesn't want to be focused on passing. That's fine. Depay is apparently unhappy with the amount of strength training. Get over it, is the feedback that I'll give him. Man, I mean, we need to just win all our remaining games. I don't want to get too hopeful about the idea that PSG could slip up. But we've got to dare to dream. Auger continuing to do well in training. I wonder if he's benefiting from playing for the French under-21s. Of course, he will have been on international duty with them. You can see Durand also in that squad. It's pretty exciting, isn't it? Pretty exciting times. Slimani, who is on loan from Monaco, is also appearing in the team right now. This guy's pretty good, isn't he? He plays for Gungam. Let's have a look. We'll get another scout report on him. Apparently he has good potential. He looks pretty good as well. There's also this guy who plays for Monaco, who looks like a very, very good kind of right back. You could maybe, if he grew a little bit and got a little bit better with his jumping, also play him at centre back. Unfortunately, I can't see a world in which Monaco will sell him to me for what I would deem a reasonable price. I've got to have one eye ahead here to the Cup semi-final, but it is against Strasbourg, who you'd expect us to beat quite convincingly. They're down in 17th at the moment. You can see there's a three-way tie in the relegation zone, and Montpellier on 23 points as well. Man, that is a crazily close battle down at the bottom. Does Strasbourg have a game today? They do. They're taking on Monaco. I'm not going to rotate the team for that reason. I think we're going to go with our full strength 11. The big question really is, do I want to play the same system that I have been playing against PSG? And the answer is, I think we will. Let's give it a go. They're playing this deeper system, which could result in us getting hit on the counter. And so playing with 3 centre mids might just help counteract that somewhat. You know, there's always going to be one of those 3, you'd hope at least. If they all correctly communicate, there's always going to be one of those 3 centre mids who does, you know, sit deeper and screen the other 2 when they do get forward. We'll have to see how we get on though today here. It's going to be a challenge. It's not going to be easy. An early goal would definitely be useful. Koeman at the edge of the box. Have a go, my son. Oh my gosh, have a go. He certainly has. The keeper got a hand to it, but could only parry it against the post. That was hit with some venom. Too hot to handle. And the Frenchman, I mean, he's firing on all cylinders at the moment, isn't he? What a finish that is. Cardinale in goal firm. I don't know if you'd expect him to do a teeny tiny bit better there. I feel like you probably would. They conceded from an earlier set piece. Could we score from this one? It's only half cleared again. A sense of deja vu here, although Lenglet not quite at the same calibre as Coman. Ball not fully cleared though. Gabels puts it back into a danger area. Aouar spreads it to Fekir, who's still out wider having taken the corner. Goes to Toussaint. Lovely build-up play. Now with Mendy, puts the ball in. I mean, if there's a finish there from Gabels, you're talking one of the best passing moves of the season as far as I'm concerned from our team. I mean, it's still not over. We build again. Really nice build-up play here. Aouar, go wide to Fekir. He's left open. He hits it. It hits the woodwork. You wondered for a second if it might hit the keeper on the back and go in. Alas, it was not meant to be. But, well, this system is kind of working well. I feel like with the deeper trio of midfielders, it kind of gives a bit more room for perhaps the inside forwards to free roam into, and there's a bit more perhaps defensive solidity from the midfield three. Anyway, Lenglet, don't do anything silly here. We obviously, last episode, we did have a moment to forget against Monaco. Oh my gosh, Lopez, where are you going? Calm down, calm down. Less of that, mister. That was a little much. Anyway, we've got a chance here. Aouar, wide to Fekir. Plenty of players out on this wide right-hand side. Militao now back with Coman. Passes it to Toussaint. Building the play from deep. What can Aouar do here? He goes it to Fekir. He goes for a 360 and now he unleashes an effort. It's another long shot. I think the keeper did have that one covered. Given how they're playing Nice with this kind of very, very deep midfield five, it is perhaps going to be a long shot or two that makes the difference here. And while there could be an opportunity, what an effort that is by Fekir. Can we just discuss that for a second? How has he managed to sneak that into the bottom corner? Just a top draw effort from him. Aouar lays it across to him and you think, well, the keeper's got this covered. How can he possibly score there? I don't know how he's managed it. He's angled it perfectly into that bottom corner. 2 goals to the good. Maybe we should use this system more often than I have so far this year. It's a system that we have turned to in the past, but I feel like this year we hadn't used it as much as you might expect. But we've given it a nod here and it's worked wonders, and we gave it a nod against PSG and it definitely worked wonders in that game. And well, we've got another chance here. Coman out wide, whips it in, back post. Gabels is there. I don't know if that counts as an own goal from the keeper. Apparently it was still going in. It's 3-0 with 23 minutes gone. It's Coman with the assist. Gabels with his 18th of the season. Continuing to keep that goal-scoring tally ticking. Really well done by Coman there to keep that cross in from the byline. I don't know if the backspin would have made that go in. It wasn't given as an own goal, so I can only assume it was going in. And well, Fekir, what a free kick that was. The woodwork denying us a 4th within the first half an hour of this game. But it really has been men against boys so far this match. 3 different goal scorers in Fekir, Coman and Gabels. I would love to see Depay get a goal. Also Aouar. Let's go for the full house in terms of the players I would like to see get a goal. We are quickly approaching half-time here. Of course, goal difference could be a factor against Monaco. And, well, Depay, he's got one. Now we just need Aouar to get a goal. What a free kick that was by Memphis. But, yeah, as you saw by the league table, goal difference between ourselves and Monaco is very much a factor at this moment in time. A result like this would definitely help us out, although we do know that Monaco are already 2 goals ahead. So maybe just worth considering that. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think PSG are playing today, so all we can really do is keep applying the pressure to them, keep breathing down their necks. As we've already discussed, it would take a monumental bottle job from them to even give us a slight chance of winning the league. But we will hold on to that hope. We can only win our remaining games now and see where it leaves us. Aouar from range, oh my god. We almost started the second half how we finished the first with a crazy long-range effort there. Unfortunately, Aouar denied by the post on this occasion. I'm going to make a few changes, I think. We'll bring in Trincao for Coman. I know Coman's been playing very well. We might as well save his legs with one eye on the cup final coming up. Similar story for Fekir. I'm going to bring in Ndombele and then swap him... we're going to bring on Ndombele and then swap him and Aouar around. We'll hold on to our last change for now, but I feel like both Fekir and Coman, they've done their job here. We're going to win this game at this point. I'm pretty confident in saying that. We have a game against Strasbourg on the horizon. I want to make sure our best players are going to be fit for that game. Aouar here with it. Gives it inside to Ndombele. Spreads it back wide to Militao. What can Militao do? He crosses it in. Oh my gosh, it's another superb goal. This time it's fallen to Memphis again. He's now on his hat-trick. It's only a 9th goal of the season for him. Crazily good ball by Militao out on the right-hand side. Dare I say, Alexander-Arnold-esque as a Liverpool fan. Just a real ball of quality from the right-back. Sees us go 5 goals up. This game is definitely over now. 2 Sarton are booking. Let's make sure he's not going to get sent off. We'll bring in Lucas Romero with our final change of the game in at this centre defensive mid position. And now really we'll just look to see out this game. We don't need to push for any more. We've had way more of the ball. Nice have not even had 1 shot on target in this game. Nothing. I mean, I feel bad for their fans. If they've travelled for this game, it's not a great look. Of course, Maulida joining us at the end of the season. This year he's got 9 goals. Last year he got 22. He's playing against us now. We'll see if he can inject a spark of life, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I imagine he is very happy about his upcoming move to join us. Off the back of another performance like this, we have just torn them to shreds. Really can't knock our overall performance this match, and indeed this episode. Do I just keep playing this system? Do we just keep doing it until it doesn't score us 5 goals in a single game? With that, we do cut the points difference to PSG. I mean, it looks good, doesn't it? 1 point behind them. They have got 2 games in hand, though. How's their squad looking? I mean, they've had a bit of time to recover now, haven't they, really, unfortunately for us. If we just look at their schedule here, they've got Porto in the Champions League midweek, and then they've got Guingamp and Marseille back-to-back, and then Porto midweek. I mean, that is some fixture congestion emerging right there. We will look to capitalise on that if we may. Ferreira, okay performance for him. Owusu, who he may well come up against, playing defensive midfielder for Strasbourg. Depay, man of the match with his 2 goals. We'll praise him for that. Marin just played against us. I'm not going to hold it over his head too much, but it probably could have been a little better from him. One thing that we will do quickly here and now. Let's make sure we rest our remaining players. Given how kind of hit and miss our form has been, it's kind of interesting now with this system that we've obviously seen success multiple times in the last couple of episodes against PSG. It's kind of interesting just to trial it against other league opposition. Given its success against PSG, how perhaps can it serve us against some of the slightly smaller teams in calibre, teams who might approach these kind of games against them somewhat differently to PSG. We have, as you can see here, got this French Cup semi-final against Strasbourg. It's a massive, massive game for us. We will, of course, hope to come out of it on top. Their big threat apparently is this guy who has an incredible name, Amaros Nishimiramana. I apologise. I apologise to you, mate, because I've not done your name justice there, Amaros. I feel like Amaros just flows off the tongue just a little bit better. I don't know why I have an issue with words. My brain sees more than 3 syllables and then just emotionally shuts down. Malcolm is still transfer listed. Man, that would be a pretty cool signing to sign Malcolm. Asking price of 7 million. Now I know we don't need a winger, but £7 million for Malcolm? I've got to think about that, right? Like, 7 million. That's just value in the market that I'm not sure I can turn down. I know there's people bashing their head going, Jack, don't sign another winger. He looks good. And he could play down the middle and he could be a pretty good, upgrade on Olmo. 7 million. We don't have 7 million in the bank. That is the only issue. We can't rejig the budgets either. Man, if I could ask the board to sign him, I would be all over that. Could I ask the board for more money? I can ask them for a bigger transfer percentage revenue. Okay, they did actually give me it the second time of asking. It's up to 95%. We've got £51 million in the bank. I'm sorry, we can find £7 million to sign Malcolm. might retrain to play centre attack in mid. Then we could have a 4-2-3-1 system where we have Malcolm in the middle. Okay, that was all. That was all. I apologize. That was bad. Right, we're going to make a few changes going into this game because, frankly, we can. I feel like we should still be winning this game. So I'm going to bring in Ndombele and Lucas Romero to play this game. They're going to play in the centre of midfield. Coman's been in good form, so we're going to keep him in. I guess I should really do the same with Depay, but I'm going to swap out Gabels for Moise Kean. In the final third, do I want to change anything? In the defensive third, do I want to change anything? I'm going to give Moreno an appearance just to hopefully keep his morale up. He's been a little bit moany lately, has Moreno. We're going to start with this system against Strasbourg. They are right down there at the bottom of the table. We should be beating them convincingly. Obviously, if it doesn't quite go to plan, we can adapt our system. We can go back to what is tried and tested. But given how things have gone so far today, I think there is every reason for optimism that we should be able to get a pretty convincing result using this system. We will now find out if that is actually the case, I guess, against Strasbourg. The French Cup semi-final, a massive chance for us to get more silverware. Oh my God, Lopez, that is not the kind of goalkeeping you want to see in this semi-final. Didn't cross the line, thankfully. He did spill it somewhat unconvincingly. If a Strasbourg player had been a little more alert to the rebound, they probably could have and should have scored there. But as things stand, that is their only shot on goal, that free kick. So that's okay, but we need to create something of our own here. It's the 22nd minute. We've not had a chance yet. Let's do something from the back here. Moreno with it. A few players, like Moreno, like Lucas Romero, perhaps have a little bit of a point to prove today. And I guess Moise Kean definitely fills that bracket as well as, oh my gosh, Memphis has an effort. What a stop that was by their keeper. People don't give enough credit to goalkeepers in Football Manager when they pull off insane saves. That was an insane save by the keeper. And I'll tell you what that was. That corner was bloody awful. It's gone in and out of play. No one's touched it. Goal kick Strasbourg. That, in a cup semi-final, is not what you want to see from set pieces, which can prove pivotal. Anyway, we've not had a great deal more of the ball than them, but they only had that one shot on target from a free kick. So at half-time, despite the fact we're yet to break the deadlock, I'm not going to get overly shouty at the players, at least not just yet. I will tell the players I'm far from happy, but we're not going to go changing the system drastically, at least immediately. As the game goes on, of course, if things are looking a little wobbly, we will maybe look to reevaluate. I'm going to assume the French Cup will just go to extra time and penalties, the semi-final, much like previous stages have. An hour gone here, at what point do I start to panic and think, man, maybe I should make some changes? It's quite apparent that they're trying to hit us on the break. I'll tell you what, let's go to the controlling style of play, and I'm going to take off Lucas Romero because he's on a booking, he's got a reputation. I'm going to bring in Gabels, and then I'm going to swap him with Kean. So Kean will move out onto the left wing, Gabels will play as a striker for us. We'll see how that works for us. Tackle put in there by Romero before the tactical change could happen. Heart-in-mouth moment, perhaps. Is there a worse feeling in FM than when you have a player who you've subbed off get sent off? It's pretty bad. And, well, oh my gosh, we've had the rub of the green. Is probably the fairest way to put that. Sells. He scored the goal that I envisaged we were going to get last game. We've hit the crossbar, hit him on the back, and it's gone in. I mean, thank you very much, FM, I guess. We will take that. Sometimes you need a bit of luck. Tactical change hadn't even kicked in at the point of scoring. But with 20 minutes left, we break the deadlock. And I think, despite the goal being scored, we're still going to continue with those tactical changes that we have initiated. Let's bring in Gabels up top. Let's bring in Toussaint just as a bit more solidity and to avoid going down a man, because this game is still in the balance at only 1-0 with 20 minutes left. Although a chance in maybe to put our noses further ahead. Moreno at left back dinks it in. Gabels leaping header on off the bench. Moreno, great to see him get an assist as well. Exactly what you'd hope to see from us there. And well, 2 goals up, 18 minutes left. It's definitely not completely over, but we are in the driving seat now. We are in complete control here. Gabels didn't seem to jump that highly for that header, but neither centre-back was able to put much competition for him in the air. And it's a goal that sees us break the deadlock. And now Owusu, Our player on loan at Strasbourg has been sent off. Agent Owusu has done the business for us. Thank you very much, my friend. You'd hope that maybe we could get 1 or 2 goals more now. They're a man down. I mean, Militao at right back, inside to Coman. Can he score? Of course he can. It's turned into a rout. We're going to make our last change. I'm going to take off Moise Keane and I'm going to bring in Trincao. In fact, thinking about this, I'm going to cancel those changes just tactically. We'll put Coman out onto the left, so he's cutting in on his stronger foot, and then Trincao out onto the right, cutting in on his left peg. Kind of makes the most sense. And, well, it'd be lovely to see Trincao get a contribution here, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. We'll have to keep an eye on him and see what he could maybe do here. Ball lumped forward. I mean, this is clearly what their game plan was from the beginning. Lopez, nice stop in the one-on-one. He wants his clean sheet still. I want him to keep his clean sheet still as well, to be fair to him. Ball crossed in, headed away by us. Could we hit them on the break now? They've committed a fair few men up the pitch here. Of course, a man down as well. They are sat so deep defensively, but there are options in the middle. Coman, I mean, it looked like it was going to be a run of pure genius, but then he just had one poor touch and they got the ball out. And, well, despite all the tactical changes that Strasbourg appear to be doing, they're not going to be able to change the inevitable outcome of this game. 3-0 against a 10-man side for the last 10 minutes. Good little performance as far as we're concerned. Maybe I'm speaking too soon here. Maybe we should just make sure that we do get the clean sheet. Ref, blow the whistle, please. That's going to be all she wrote. Another cup final for us. Militao at right back, man of the match. Moreno matched his rating as well. Fair play to both of our fullbacks. Instrumental and pivotal in today's game. And yeah, well, with that, we go into the French Cup final, where we're going to be taking on Bordeaux, who are in 5th right now. So that's going to be a little bit of a battle of 2 teams. Bordeaux, I mean, how have we got on against them this year? I'm curious now to check. They beat us 2-0, and we've still got to play them, I guess, this season at some point. Oh no, we beat them 2-0 and they beat us 2-0. So, a pretty even game. I assume it's going to be at a neutral venue. If we have a look here, is it in our schedule yet? It is. It will be at a neutral venue. Between then and now, we got Dijon in 9th, Strasbourg in 18th, Angers in 17th, Montpellier in 19th, Rennes in 8th. Definitely games there that you'd consider winnable. Hopefully we can go marching on and, well, we are within touching distance of more silverware. And we will just a tiny bit hold on to the hope that maybe still PSG could completely bottle it this year and capitulate. Although it's still incredibly unlikely. But the league table, at least to end today's episode, looks significantly better than when we joined, doesn't it? Anyway, folks, that's going to be all from me today. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, do drop a like on the video. And I'll see you guys again next time. It's me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.